So yeah, welcome everyone back to Coffee Club. My name is Sam and I help people with procrastination. So my talk today is going to be, why haven't you done that thing that you want to do? Next slide please, Miriam. So what I'm going to do is breeze through this quite quickly because I'm on a time limit. 3 things we're going to cover today. Why you are procrastinating. Number 2, why the internet solutions don't always work. And number 3, what you can do to make some progress. Thank you, Miriam. Before we do though, there's some distinctions I'd like to make. First one, we're talking here about the stuff that you want to do, not the stuff that you need to do. Because chances are you're going to be procrastinating on the stuff that you need to do because it's not something you want to do. So what we're talking about here is those side projects, those dreams, that writing a book, that starting the YouTube channel. That's the kind of things we're talking about here. The second distinction is the difference between a reason and an excuse. Now, the concept here is around accountability. An excuse is when you're essentially blaming someone or something else and not taking any accountability. And a reason is when you are taking accountability. So this is what we're going to be covering, is what I would consider the legit reasons for procrastination. Miriam. So this is my list of 6 legit reasons for inaction, or as I like to call them, RFIs. So this is a concept I've come up with. It's a work in progress. So these are the 6 that I reckon I've boiled down to after working hundreds of hours worth with clients, doing research myself, and just reading about all the reasons for procrastination. I've boiled it down to these 6, which I'm going to go through quickly. First one, fear of failure or imperfection. So this is you're worried about messing up, screwing up, or it not being as good as you want it to be. So I myself struggle with perfectionism, so a lot of times I think, well, I'm going to make it amazing, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. The list of things gets so big and then I don't do anything. So that also comes under a fear of failure, because I guess if you don't do it perfectly, you failed. Number 2, fear of success. Some of you are probably thinking, is that even a thing? Well, actually it is, because a lot of people, they can be worried about what will happen if they do succeed. Maybe their life will change, and potentially for a negative. Third one there is overwhelm. So this is where you kind of know what you want to do, you know how to get there, there's just a load of stuff to do and you don't know where to start. So that's overwhelm. Number 4 is an ability or knowledge gap. So this is where you know where you want to go, but you haven't quite got the skills or the knowledge to get there yet, or even, as someone mentioned earlier, you don't even know where you want to go yet. So this is just a gap in knowledge or ability. Next one down, motivation. Are you motivated enough to actually do the thing you want to do? Was it even your idea in the first place? Is it something your parents maybe suggested you do and you're just following a normal path? So this is about having enough internal motivation. And the final one here is support structures. So this is where you have kind of got the other 5 all sorted, but you're struggling to stay on track. Maybe you've got bad habits, you've got some discipline issues, or your environment isn't conducive for being productive. Thank you, Miriam. Now, there's also a 7th one I've put on here with an asterisk. I haven't quite worked out whether this is a legit reason or whether it's an excuse. And this is resources. So this is in terms of time, money, or energy. I haven't got enough time, I haven't got enough energy, or I can't afford it. So I think with this one, I've put an asterisk because I think it can be a reason or an excuse, but it's up to the individual to be as honest as they can with themselves and realise, do they not genuinely have enough time, or are they just choosing to spend their time elsewhere? Same with money. They might have the money, but they might not be comfortable investing in whatever they want to do to progress. Thanks, Miriam. So why don't the internet solutions always work? Because a lot of people, all you can do is just go on Google, how to stop procrastination. Chances are you'll get the basic ones, break down the goals, take small steps, use Pomodoros, those kind of things. They're not bad solutions, but they're mismatched to each RFI. So if you're Googling and coming up with the results around breaking down the goals, that's going to be great for overwhelm, but it's going to be useless if you've got fears driving your resistance, essentially. And also vice versa, if you're looking at how to overcome your fears, and essentially you're just not motivated enough to do it, that strategy isn't going to work. So it's a case of finding the right strategy for the RFI. If we can go down another page, please, Miriam. And also, it's not just a case of which one of these 6 is it. I believe it's a case of which one or more of these 6 and to which degree. So I think there's going to be some of these running at all times. And there's also another complication in terms of motivation and the fears. You might not even know you've got these. So they could be driving everything in the background, almost like a software program running in the back. So this is the kind of work that I do, is help people uncover those fears, and then you can use a strategy to overcome those fears. Thank you, Miriam. So what can you actually do then to make some progress on that thing that you want to do? First thing is just be honest. So have a look at where you are procrastinating. Maybe do a weekly review, monthly review, and think, where am I not doing what I want to be doing? Be honest with yourself. Try and catch yourself where you are procrastinating. The next thing to do is to get some insight as to why that is. So using the 6, have a look at which one of those RFIs that you might be struggling with. So get the insights, get the awareness, and then you can take action. Because a lot of internet solutions just say, just take a first step or get started. That's great, but you kind of need these first 2 to know which strategy to use, in my opinion. Miriam. Okay, so to conclude, in the war on procrastination, figure out which battles you are fighting, so which one of those 6, and then bring the right weapon for the battle. So, next step, call to action. You're probably thinking, Sam, that was so quick, what the hell was number 3 on that list? So what I've done is I've created a worksheet for this, and that's available on my website, which is up here on there. So it's samchillcott.com. So if you want to have a look and figure out what your RFIs are, there's a worksheet on there, and it's in an opt-in box on most of the pages. And I'd just like to leave you with, go and do that thing, because once you know your RFI, you can have a strategy and you can get cracking. And then once you start to create that thing or become that person or do that thing, you'll feel, it's cathartic, you'll feel better, you'll feel more content, and what you create could then impact someone else. So go do that thing. Thank you. Rapid.